time for Two Guys and a Goalie with Dustin Nielson, Matt Kassian, and the goalie, Joaquin Gage.
Thursday morning, 12:04. Thursday afternoon, I guess, technically. Just got into the afternoon. 12:04. Thank you very much for joining us here during your lunch hour on Two Guys and a Goalie. If you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, you can text us at 780-218-9999. If you're listening to the podcast after the fact, I guess you can text us, but it'd be kind of weird because we wouldn't be on live. And then if you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up, get into the chat as well. Two Guys and Goalie is brought to you by GS Construction. Sam within his crew over at GS Construction, they're hiring now. They're looking for experienced pipe layers, operators, top men, superintendents. If you have experience in one of those positions, you want to take your career to another level, visit gsconstruction.ca. GS Construction, serving your community for over 50 years. The bringer of wings, Joaquin Gage, is with us after I had the entire staff starving last night and not having enough pizza. Gager brings in, 2 pounds of wings today?
A little bit more than that, I think, Dusty.
Yeah.
There's more people that work here than you think.
Cass, I don't know if you're in the loop on any of this stuff, but we had a staff meeting last night here, and I brought in some pizzas, which Jay Milne, I will say this, glue guy just told me over in the kitchen moments ago. He said, I thought it was an ample amount of pizza. So at least glue guys. Anyway, everybody was like, Dusty, there's no leftovers. We thought there'd be leftovers. We're all starving. You didn't bring in enough pizza. It's been a big thing now today. I told Gager, though, as soon as I saw the guy starting to dive into the pizza, I was like, oh, shit. I don't think I brought enough pizza. But I guess you just always have to, over-order, right, Cass? Is that what you have to do with pizza?
Yeah, you always over-order. And yes, I heard about this from a variety of different people. So there's been, it's caused some...
There's a buzz, yeah.
There's a buzz. There's a buzz, to say the least. And that's like my biggest fear if I ever have people over, or for one of the kids' birthday parties.
Kids' birthday parties, yeah.
Or anything like that. I'm like, the worst thing in my mind, that's not actually the worst thing. You can just always get more, whatever. But I'm just I'm terrified. Or even if we just have people over, I am terrified of running out of food, and not having enough food so that everyone can have as much as they want. It's a horrible feeling. It's a horrible, horrible feeling. Having to limit the number of slices of pizza somebody can take. And then you think about the little slow eaters, and it's they're going back, and they're probably one of the little guys.
First of all, I just want to clarify. I didn't limit pizza on anybody last night. I wasn't only have 3 slices.
Yeah.
Well, by not having enough, you had to.
Yeah.
But did you see Zach at the end of the meeting? He reminded me of Ben Johnson juiced in the 100 meters. Getting up afterwards and going to the kitchen. He made a straight line to it and got another piece. So.
See, there was another piece left after the meeting, and Zach got it. And Zach told me today that Reed said, go ahead, eat it.
Well, I don't think he had a choice because Zach was already halfway to his mouth. You're not going to say no at that point.
Cass, you make a good point on the kids' birthday party thing. We've done multiple birthday parties. You get the pizza, you over-order because you don't want little kids these are grown ass men. I was just you can fend for themselves a little bit later on. It's not like this kid's going to go home to their mommy. Well, I guess some of the guys might have if I went home and complained about it.
I was shocked to see the ordering of a medium pizza. Would you ever order
I don't know
a
what I was
medium
thinking, man.
pizza to a kid's birthday party, Cass? Only
if you had to do a gluten-free. If there's one kid that was gluten-free or something.
Especially.
Well, that's kind of what I did with that spaghetti pizza because Eric had been talking about it. I was like, I don't know if everybody's going to eat the spaghetti pizza, so I got a medium. And then, I don't know. Yeah, I screwed up. I'm not going to try to back out of this, but I will say I was trying to get the order in quickly before I had to go on this Montreal Alouettes podcast at 5:00, and it's 4:50. And the first time I put in my credit card, it was the wrong card. Then I had to do it again. I was in a mad scramble. I was just 2 largest mediums, got the splash of Coke, some root beer, and so I botched it. I blew it.
So what you're telling us is you are the Peter Chiarelli of ordering pizza.
Where I'm going to take, I got access over here now. I'm taking Cass out of the shot. This is it. Like, don't you dare. No, Cass, gone. You're gone. You're gone. Cass is gone. Don't you dare compare me to Peter Chiarelli, man. Like, what? Like, that's. I mean, the guys have said a lot of you know what the last little while here, but enough is enough, you guys. This is.
I mean, I didn't think of that, but that's why I asked if that's what you're saying. I didn't say that. Like, rush to a decision.
The Spooner trade last night.
Rush to the decision. You know, I didn't really know what to do. I was thinking of these other things. I really wanted to win. I really had someplace to be. So I just made the trade. I just did it. I just ordered. I mean, that's kind of what it sounded like. That's why I asked the question.
Well, when you did come around the corner and see what was available, you were like, oof.
It's just such damn good pizza. Yeah, I blew it by not getting more of the good pizza.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And I'll say I was a little I wasn't upset with you, Dusty. I was more upset. Oh, I can only have a couple of these.
Well, then you were disappointed in me, probably.
Disappointed,
right? Like, that sucks.
Hey, made up for it today. I brought in wings. Everyone's happy.
You did bring wings. They're good wings too.
Yeah,
they're very soft. Yeah. Whatever that sauce was that I dipped in, you were surprised.
I said I
didn't even ask about it. I just went in blind. I was like, I'm going to do this.
Yeah,
I told you. I mean, I've realized today, after losing to Zach and Tecmo and this whole pizza thing, and then I just realized you live once.
Are you
like, I'm going to start dipping? Today? I'm going to start. Yes, I am flying to Vancouver today.
Jeez. Yeah. I would Uber.
Yeah, I'm gonna drive instead. I'm gonna drive to Vancouver. I'm gonna tell them I'll be there just in time for the game tomorrow. It was a weird day. I didn't want to get on a plane. Anyway, you know what? I will say, so this is my worst pizza accomplishment ever, for sure. My greatest pizza party accomplishment ever was Elizabeth's birthday last year.
Okay.
Outdoor birthday party, February, like 21st, 22nd. But it was a nice day. We were at a place where you could skate and, go sledding and stuff. And Tammy was so deathly ill for like 2 weeks last year.
I remember that.
She had to bail on Elizabeth's birthday party. She was distraught. Mm-hmm. And she's like, you got this. I was like, my God, I think I do have it. And I ordered the pizza. I had the right amount of pizza. I was totally monitoring all the pizzas. And it worked out. It worked out well. We had like 3/4 of one pizza left at the end of the day. Took it home to my sick wife. She couldn't eat it, but it was like that was my magnum opus of pizza. And I don't know what I would describe this one as. But so you have pizza highs, you have pizza lows.
Yeah,
right. That's gonna happen. It's life. What are you gonna
do? Yeah. Sometimes you draft McDavid. Sometimes you
trade Taylor 2 picks for Reinhardt.
Yeah, sometimes you trade for Spooner. And,
all right. Cass, you make homemade wings much? Because Gager crushed these wings today. But I don't think you probably did too much to them, but I liked them.
Not too much. The homemade wings, when I generally do them, I'll either bake them or boil them and then finish them on the grill. Like, I found that it just depends how much you're doing and how many you're doing. So I would say, though, that's one of the areas I'm less experienced in that. And that's because my wife doesn't like them that much. Like, she's not a huge wing fan. She doesn't like them that much. And only one of my daughters like them. The other ones like tendies. Like, they'll do tendies, but they're not so much on the wing side. So not that often. My dad makes them mean, really, really good. He'll do like a smoked hot wing. His wings are really good. I really like those. He gets them really nice, chars them up really good on the grill. Like, they're pretty deadly. Love those ones.
Gage, you spice these with something? Was that those spices that guy dropped off?
Yeah.
He was at Subway yesterday.
Was he?
He's like, have you tried the spices yet? I said, I can't even remember where I put them.
I have them all in the drawer. I took two of them home. They're out of sight.
Really?
Yeah. So I was actually.
What's the name of it again? Do you remember?
I can't remember the name.
Which drawer there? I'm going to
go grab. But these spices that I was like, I'll try these, and I forget what I threw it on. I think it was like baby red potatoes. Just a little finishing seasoning, and I was like, I don't know what I was expecting, but it was just unbelievable, these spices. So just here's what I do when I make wings, because I like wings. My family loves wings, but my boy and I, we just devour them, right? So if you go to the superstore and get the combined wing, like the drum and the flat, but then of course you got to cut it, but they're only like $20 for, I think it's like 3.5 pounds of wings. So yeah, there's a little bit of extra work, but if you have a good paring knife, you can go right through the little joint there. And I sprinkled this.
So you just use this original blend seasoning?
That's all we got.
Yeah, it's MTV Equipment Inc. is what it is. As a listener, just came by and dropped these off one day.
They're out of sight. And then a little Frank's mild garlic Parmesan sauce is just absolutely ridiculous. So
you know what you can do with that Frank's? Because I'll do it on other stuff too. You know what you can do with that Frank's is you melt some butter and mix it with a little bit of extra butter.
Yeah. And then toss them.
So it's like and then toss them in that. Yeah. Deadly.
All right, let's get to the National Hockey League. But hey, if you want to text us about wings or proper ways to order pizza, somebody sent me a link today to a pizza calculator.
Oh,
yeah, I haven't looked at it, but I'll have to try to find it before the next one. The Gourdfather says, is anyone else concerned that the kids from Muzz's birthday party all went home hungry now after Dusty describing it as a perfect pizza order? No, there was 3/4 of a pizza left over. Come on. Like, that's a tough one. Big Dave says, man, Cass just came off the top rope with that Shirelli comparison, didn't he? Yeah, I feel like the guy in our intro video whose ass you were kicking. I can't remember who, you know that Cass just beat that guy down? That was me today. Who was that? Was that Hordichuk?
That was Hordy, yeah.
This one says, Dusty, I used to order pizza for the office, and the rule of thumb I found was a regular-sized man can easily consume half a medium pizza by themselves. Yeah, here's the pizza calculator. So here we go. Wow. So a number of adults. So let me put in here. What do we have? We had 11.
11.
And then, no, but Belsey was there.
Belsey, yeah.
Look. I gotta say this.
Oh, it wasn't Belsey's fault.
Well, I mean,
I think Belsey.
I thought we were gonna have 11. Belsey was there. Oh, maybe he didn't.
I don't think he did.
No, he must have. How could you sit there and not have a couple slices?
I don't know.
Anyway, so I'll just put in for 11. Let's just say a regular full stack. Okay. There's a hunger level. How would you describe guys at 6 p.m.?
Hungry.
Hungry. Okay, fine. Not starving, just hungry.
No, I'd say hungry.
Okay, hungry.
Because some people came later.
Crust type, we did traditional.
Yeah.
All right, calculate. I would have to get 5 large pizzas, 4 extra large, 6 mediums, 9 smalls. So, I mean, I was at 2 large, 3 mediums. So I missed it.
Yeah.
I missed it.
That's
all right. Anyway, if you want that, inchcalculator.com/pizza desk calculator. You can, I will definitely be using that next time.
I wish we would have used that last night.
All right, the Edmonton Oilers. Cass, I guess you haven't had a chance to take a Skinner victory lap since last game. Hey, we might as well give you the floor. What do you think of your boy?
Yeah, well, hey, he steals you a game right back into it. It's always interesting. It's just people are always quiet after that, where they're just kind of like, ooh, Skinner, oh, you had one good game.
Cass fan voice. I love it. Here it is.
That's usually what you hear. But again, I'll say it again. Like, if Skinner plays like this or close to like this throughout the season, he's going to be fine. Now, I know people that game one, and it was, and I try to call it how I believe it is. It's like, well, that third goal, game one with the turnover, that was horrible. That can't happen. Shouldn't happen. Not good at all. But the rest of the game, he was fine. Like, really, there's been, aside from the horrible turnover, there has been 0 goals scored on Stuart Skinner in the 2 games that he's played that have been like, Skinner had a chance on it.
Yeah, we kind of joked on our show yesterday that he hasn't really been beaten by a shot yet.
Yeah.
You know, like it's been weird. Yeah, they've been weird. Like,
yeah, he hasn't. And so,
I mean, he basically scored one on himself, but he hasn't been beaten by a shot yet. Like,
right, but he shouldn't have been, right? And that was very bad, very bad, very bad. Not good. You get one of those every 10 games, but it was a great game that he had, and the Oilers were a little flat, and he just held down the fort and steals you a game. And if he can do that, like, maybe here's a question for you, Gager, on this, is how often during the regular season should your goalie steal you a game? Like, what's a reasonable expectation for a good starting goalie? Not like a great one, not like a best goalie in the league, but like, what's a reasonable expectation for like a average or better? So like a good goalie in the league, top 15 guys in the league, let's say. Like, or somewhere in that range.
So not Hellebuck, but like Sorokin.
Sorokin or less.
Yeah.
Right. Like, what's a reasonable expectation? How many games should they steal?
Look, all starting goalies should be capable. Well, it's very difficult, but at the end of the year, if you tab them all up, and the games, and you're talking about games where the rest of the team just didn't have it, right? You're having a 40 to 50 shot save performance and eking one out 3-2 or 1-0. Those types of things.
So you wouldn't classify against the Rangers as Skinner stealing it? Or I'm just saying because he made 30.
He stole it.
Yeah, okay.
I would say that. But just a unique performance by a goaltender. Like, he's the best player on the ice. And Stuart Skinner was. I guess maybe the shot count doesn't matter. But I would say 4, 5 at most throughout the year that's going to happen. Because usually when a goalie's on and he's playing well, he still loses. To win it and have everyone not at their best is very rare, right? So I would assume it's if we look back at the season and looked at every goaltender, the ones that they stole, or you could consider them stealing those games, 4, maybe 5. That's it.
And so from a Oilers standpoint, on the flip side, then, just because I'm thinking this through, like, how often would you say a team can expect to get goalied on the other side of it?
The same amount, I think.
That's
really.
it. You get 4 or 5 where you're like, damn, straight up goalie. What are you gonna do?
Like, I mean, because look on the flip side, Demko was absolutely outstanding against the Edmonton Oilers, right? But he lost. If he wins that game, that's one he stole. He was so close. That's why it's so hard to win those types of games if your team's not all in it. As a goaltender, to win it, it's very difficult. But it does happen.
Gage, I was curious, and this is more of a question for listeners, or if you're watching on YouTube, because we've seen the ups and downs of Skinner's game. Like, a lot of people say, well, he can have good games, but it's inconsistent. So what's your confidence level in Skinner tonight coming off the way he played last game? Like, you're sitting there going, oh, he's locked in right now, or you sit there going, it's really an unknown?
I think from what I've heard from Stuart Skinner so far this season, this is the maturation of a goaltender too, a guy that's played in the league for a number of years. I think he's really, there's no better goalie of turning the page so far, or had the most opportunity to turn the page, than Stuart Skinner. I believe it was last year. What was his record coming off a loss, right? Like, he never lost 2 games in a row for a long period of time there for a certain stretch. Or was it the year prior? Whatever. But I think he puts everything in the rearview mirror very well. Good games and bad games, and refocuses. So I don't really put too much. Obviously, it feels good when you have a good game, but I think there's a really good chance that he is one of the best players on the ice tonight.
Cass, you agree? I think he's a straight back. Like, I sure hope he is. Like, I'm not in tomorrow morning, so I won't have to deal with it. But on the post game of the Guys tomorrow morning, if Skinner's just okay or less than okay, it's going to be, I know what's going to happen. It's going to be a
consistent,
crazy morning tomorrow morning.
I'm gonna have no voice from yelling at people after post game. My hands are gonna be sore from typing my anger out at the people that are gonna be freaking out. But here's the thing though. If he had, let's say Skinner steals another one. Let's say he plays great tonight and plays fantastic, and they lose. Like, let's say they get goalied on the other way, and the Oilers lose 2-1, and Skinner is whatever. Like,
my big save, Dave. Riddick's getting the start tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, like if the Oilers lose and Skinner plays, he has to play stellar for people to not complain, I think. So I don't know. We'll see here.
TV camera guy over on the chat on YouTube says he better be locked in. He's got 20 to 30 games to decide his future with the Oilers. I hope he can do it. Some of these different handles as opposed to names over there, I don't know who they are. Safari Flaps 1 says Stu is in the top of the league for almost all advanced stats, extremely small sample size, but it's encouraging. So that's through 2 starts, though. That's tough to really get a read on things, though.
You got to look after 10 starts, where is he? Right? Let's see where the save percentage is, because last year it was terrible after 10, wasn't it? It was kind of like 88 or something like that. Started to creep up a little bit, but he was so far behind the 8 ball. He would have had to face way more shots and make more saves to get that average up.
Trolls in it says, my confidence still isn't that high in Skinner. Look at last playoffs when he got 3 shutouts in 4 games, and then look how average he was in the finals. Didn't cost them the cup, but didn't win them one either. So that is the Skinner conversation as we head into tonight's game. They'll be going up against Dave Riddick. As for these two lineups tonight, let's get to the Edmonton Oilers. It's a game day. They get the Islanders. We will have the GCL Diesel pregame show smack dab in the middle of the Reed Wilkins show today. Reed show starts at 3 o'clock on TuneIn and iHeart and YouTube, EdmontonSportsTalk.com. They'll go up until 4:30. Tommy will slide in, take over for the GCL Diesel pregame show. Then you'll get another half hour of the Reed Wilkins show. And then, of course, GCL Diesel postgame show to follow the game tonight. The Edmonton Oilers are going to roll with Connor McDavid between Tomaszek and Mangiapane, Draisaitl with Roslovic and Nuge, Frederick with Kapanen and Podkolzin, Henrique will be with Savoy and Ike Howard. Cass, your thoughts on Mangiapane and Tomaszek being the first 2 guys who get a crack here at Connor McDavid when the line split up between him and Draisaitl?
Yeah, well, they're the first 2 that deserve it as of right now.
Yeah, you know what? I think that's a good point.
Yeah, I think Tomaszek, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I think somebody on our podcast picked Tomaszek to be up there to start the season. So a couple games late.
You did have him high up on your lines.
Yeah, I had him on the first line. A couple days late, but he's been really good. Like, and even last game, he was just steady. Goes hard to the net, uses his size decently well. Not like he's running people over, but he's going to good areas of the ice and he's finding ways to generate offensive opportunity. So he absolutely deserves to be. And Mangiapane as well, who's been kind of as advertised so far. Like, he's played well, has found ways now to put the puck in the net. They are absolutely the 2 forwards that deserve an opportunity there with McDavid. So yeah, I'm glad they're there. They deserve to be until they don't. So give them a shot.
I tried to contact one of my old teammates in Sweden, who's still involved and stuff, to see what type of player Tomaszek was in Sweden. Because he looks, the Swedish hockey game, it's so much puck control, and where on the highlights where you see him, and I think it's mostly on the power play where he's up top high, right? He's not in that net front presence.
They're kind of running that different thing. It's like a 1-3-1, and then
he's bumping out a little bit.
He's sliding up a bit.
But I just wanted to see, because it really, he's adapted quite well to a North American small ice surface style. I mean, it's a little bit small. You got more room in certain spots, right? But I've been really impressed. Like, really, he should have a few goals aside from goalies making really good saves on him too. It's not like he's just burying it in their in the chest. Like, they're having to make pretty good saves. So I think he deserves it. He thinks the game at a high level.
That's what I love about him, right? Like you can tell.
Yeah, he gets the puck and he knows where Connor is. Connor already knows where he is when they've been together. Same with Leon. So yeah, this could turn out to be a really, really encouraging signing. Again, it's only 3 games, right? But yeah, hopefully he can keep that going.
Cass, he's like sort of like a mini power forward, isn't he? Like, he had a few net drives last game where I was like, oh man, like, you just don't see many Oilers try to take the puck to the net in that fashion.
Yeah, kind of like a Braden Point light, although on a winger. Like, but just from a not a massive guy, but kind of drives the net in that same style. I agree. He just plays with a little bit of that edge in his game, going to some of those hard areas, which is fun. I mean, it's good. It's good to see, and you need guys to do that. Like, I do feel, you had Perry, you had Kane, but I do feel that last year there was a little bit of a lack of that. Like, once Fogle, it's like a better Fogle in that regard too. Does that make sense? Like,
that's a good.
I feel like
I like that.
Yeah, like, or a mature Holloway in a way. And I know there's a size difference there, but like, just having the speed and then having the ability to net drive and get there. I feel that's something that was lacking from the Oilers last year. So it's pretty encouraging to see it from him early on in the season here.
I would say this. I think if he was a step quicker, he would have been in the National Hockey League 4 years ago.
Yeah, you saw him at the Spangler,
yeah,
right?
I saw him at the Spangler, and what's different? It's bigger ice over there. It's a little bit different, but even here, you can tell, like just a little bit quicker, and he's a real handful, like a real handful. But this is what Gager said, Cass, on the how when you're going to play with Connor McDavid or Leon Draisaitl or both Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, how much of it is success coming from physical capabilities? How much of it is success coming from mental capabilities?
Oof, that's a tough one.
I know in the end you want the great combination of the both, but
you want both. I mean, ideally it's 50-50, but I would say it depends on what your base level of player is that you're playing with them. And I'll explain what I mean by that. So let's say for a guy like Patrick Maroon, like Patrick Maroon, who had a lot of success playing with Connor McDavid, that's like 80% physical, 20% on the mental thinking side of the game. Like that's like be physical, turn pucks over, go to the net with a stick on your eyes.
So overwhelming physically, hey? Yeah. Like for Maroon.
Right. Overwhelming physically for him for the type of game he has to play. And then he had success. Now I think on the flip side, for players that are generally more skill players, and that's his game typically, right? So naturally Maroon's game is that big physical game. Now for players that are typically on the skill side, I think the players that have success with Connor McDavid. So let's use like Ryan Nugent-Hopkins as an example. Now he's been around, but a player that does have skill, thinks the game well, not overly physical. Like is more, we would say Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, aside from when he's angry Nuge, he's more of a skill guy stylistically. And him, it's going to be the flip side. Like when he plays with Connor McDavid, it's going to be like 80% on the skill game or mental game and 20% on the physical side. Right, because you still need to go to those areas sometimes, but it's going to be more about being creative offensively and finding space and finding the gap versus just going to the net and running people over and being physical on it. So to me, the core of it, it just depends what your base is as a player. Like, what do you do best as a player? Stick with that. And so for like a Trent Frederick, I go like, he's a guy to me when he's playing with McDavid or Draisaitl for that matter, if he's on that line, he can't try to be something he's not still, or he shouldn't try to be something he's not. Like he should still let the core of his game shine. And I don't know if he quite did that enough. And there's other reasons for it. And there's timing and there's all kinds of things. But I feel it's generally 80-20 towards the side of what you naturally are as a player.
Gage, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I mean, one of the reasons Maroon was so successful is exactly what Cass had mentioned. He didn't really change his style, right? He was still the same. But what happened was he was a very strong net front presence and had to take a player with him. So sometimes he would be battling with two defenders in front, right? Trying to get him out of there. That made more room for Connor to maneuver out there. It's a fine line, but I think it does depend on the player, but they can't veer off from what made them successful in the first place. So I really don't. I think you'll see Trent Frederick again at some point playing with Connor.
You think so?
Especially if he gets going a little bit. Like he scored a great goal last game. I liked their line. If he starts contributing the way he did back in Boston, I think at times against certain competition, you'll probably see him back with Connor.
Yeah, how do you weigh that, Cass? Like, let's say Frederick scores. He scored last game. Let's say he scores a couple goals in the next. On the road, let's say he scores one more goal on the road trip. How do you weigh, let's bump him up with somebody, or just say, hey, it's going really well where he is. Leave him as a third-line center for now.
Why wouldn't you leave him where he is? He didn't put up any goal. Like, if he starts putting up here, he didn't put up points in the top line. And again, not just his fault on that. But if that third line's working and it's a big aggressive third line, like they're being physical and they're turning over pucks and they're hounding other teams' defensemen, it's like, don't we kind of like that? Don't we kind of like that from that line? Like Podkolzin and Frederick, if that's what we stay with and Kapanen, like just being the physical and being around it. Like if they can, I don't know, if Frederick is playing center and he's having more success particular, and that maybe would be the biggest part of it, is if he is more comfortable putting up points, having success at center, that's kind of where I want him to stay. Isn't that?
Yeah, I mean, in this situation, it would be a different position.
I mean, if Connor keeps not scoring, maybe.
Yeah, if Connor doesn't score tonight, has 4 games without a goal, might have to move him to the wing. Maybe he just is worth only 12.5 mil. I have a feeling. I think there's a chance that they blow up on the Islanders tonight. Islanders have allowed 13 goals in 3 games.
Okay.
Penalty kills only at 70%. I love the McDavid power. Actually, let's tie this in to number crunchers for Play Alberta. We talk a little bit about Nuge and Draisaitl again, and our thoughts on those guys being a thing or not. But here's what we've got. A couple of things for your number cruncher segment for our title sponsor of Edmonton Sports Talk over at Play Alberta. A couple of plays tonight in this Oilers game. We've got the early bird bet, which is the Oilers to win in regulation. McDavid 2 points and Mangiapane a point on that top line. That's plus 290. Dusty's play of the day, Connor McDavid with a power play point boosted from plus 108 to plus 120. So a few Oilers plays over there for you. Also, if you click on odds boosts at Play Alberta, there will be odds boosts on, there's a ton of them on the football games, and there should be a bunch. Man, they got tons of odd boosts over here. Here we are. Here's some on the Oilers. Let's see. Connor McDavid with a goal. Bo Horvat over 3.5 shots. That's plus 580. Oilers on the puck line at minus 1.5, and the Maple Leafs on the puck line at minus 1.5, plus 570. Actually, I actually don't hate that one. If you think the Oilers are going to win by 2 tonight, might as well tie in the Leafs to get that up to a pretty good number as well. So there's a lot of different things you can find over there at Play Alberta. Use the code EST Sports, deposit $50, get a $50 free bet, or use the code EST50 and deposit $50 and get a $50 free bet. You can use those $50 free bets on our special bets. Just click on EST specials. I know I send a lot to these guys there. Yeah, so we've got our NFL parlays up. Jay's play of the day is up as well. Are these leftover wings? Is that what's happening right now? Hernan's really buying into this. And I you know what? I wouldn't mind having another wing if I could get a splash of root beer. Yeah, I'll take a splash of root beer. That'd be terrific.
Bring him a bubbly. Bring him a bubbly.
Jay's play of the day, McDavid 3+ points. Plus 275. That's sitting up there already as well. So he's thinking there's a big game here coming from Connor McDavid. I don't hate the idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that idea. Cass, what do you think about the idea of Nuge and Draisaitl together? I mean, Nuge usually rides shotgun with McDavid. We'll start this conversation with, we know it worked with Yamamoto for like a 25-game stretch, worked brilliantly. If they're going to try some different wingers here with McDavid, I guess maybe we will see a little bit more Nuge and Draisaitl than before. But do you like them as a duo?
Well, we have the potential to see it work, as we have seen in the past. It has worked. It has worked. They have played very well. Now, it was not for forever. It wasn't for seasons that they were together, but in some limited situations, for a limited time, it was very, very good. So, hey, I want to see it. I want to see it. And if that can make Leon a little bit better, or just give him success on their own line, and McDavid can find a way to have success with Tomasek and Mangiapane, I mean, that to me is ideal. And I know they started this season, they started playing McDavid and Draisaitl together, and they said, that's what we're going to go with. And some things were good with it. Some things haven't been great with it. But to me, ideally, they're not playing together, because it just spreads out the threat in your lineup. And it allows, I think it just allows you to take advantage of other teams not being able to stack up just one line or a shutdown line in some ways. And so, I don't know. I like the depth idea of it. I want to see more of it. It has worked in the past. I think the reason it can potentially work is, for what I was saying before about Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, is he's a cerebral player that can understands where to go in the offensive zone, understands where to go in the defensive zone. He can help Leon out defensively if need be. And yeah, I want to see it. I want to see it.
Gager, what about you? Because I'll just quickly say this. These wings are delicious, Gager. That's just that sauce. And then what is this thing here? What's this?
That's the Frank's Parm garlic.
That is
thick sauce.
That is a delicious sauce. Man.
I know.
I dip a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, I have dipped a lot of stuff in there. What did you ask me?
No, Nugent Draisaitl. I just was going to say, since that stretch with Yamamoto, I don't remember many games where I've come out and been like, man, Nugent Draisaitl looked really good last night together. I don't know if there's been a lot of those moments.
They're having not a consistent stretch where they were dominant like that line was, because that was over the course of, I want to say, like 10 games where, you know, they basically their puck possession times were astronomical, and the chances that they were the Oilers' best line. Like, you would have said, if you would have watched that game as a non-fan, you would say, oh, the top line is the Nudie line, right? They just haven't seemed to find that again.
And we're talking years ago now.
Yeah, that's a long time. But I mean, how many times have we talked about, and we've been saying this about GMs, that they've never, and Buttons even send it. When are they going to find someone else than Connor to play with Leon?
Yeah.
So
I mean, same thing. I mean, we're still already talking about them bringing in another top 6 forward to play with one of these guys.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? So,
that is kind of crazy.
It's very crazy. I still don't think that's their top priority, but that's me.
No.
We don't need to go there today.
We'll get to there. We'll have about a million deadline shows.
We have a lot,
leading up to that we can get into. Cass,
a lot of these guys, we don't know what they have yet either. It still might be there with some of these new guys too. Like,
I mean, Mangiapane's been good so far.
He's been great.
Maybe he is a staple in the top 6 here for you, which could help. And maybe Tomaszek starts burying some of these chances that he's getting, and all of a sudden that's found money with what you're paying that guy. So. And then Roslovic. We haven't really even dove into Roslovic too much.
No.
We've only seen him in one game. What do you think of his game, Gage?
I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
Didn't look out of place, you know, it didn't wow me at all, but maybe I was watching. I had the ISO cam on him for a little bit, and he didn't look like a guy that missed all of training camp and hasn't been playing.
Yeah, he was moving pretty well, wasn't he?
Yeah. So I was like, So it'll be fun to see once he gets up to speed, or like after this road trip, if he plays all these games. I'd like to see where his game's at on the tail end of this and see where he is.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Like, you got to give him 3 or 4 games here, and then we can unpack it a little bit more.
Guys, curious for your thoughts on what is, I guess, being listed as the 4th line. Henrique with the 2 rookies on his wings. I mean, it's one game. We'll see where it goes. I don't think you want Savoy and Howard playing 4th line, you know, for months here at Edmonton. But it's one game. Who knows? I mean, they might. One of them might be back in the top 6 by the middle of the game, depending on how it goes. But your thoughts on those 2 guys ending up in that spot next to Henrique here early in the season?
Yeah. I think you're just trying to find something that makes sense with what works or could work. And you're maybe protecting Savoy a little bit from playing some of the minutes that you could see with Draisaitl. But you're right. I don't think you want either of them down there for a significant amount of time or a significant period of time. Now, what you probably are going to see, because if I'm not blocking, I'm looking at this, is you're going to have some rotation in there as well. Because when the power play is up, it's going to be McDavid, it's going to be Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, it's going to be Draisaitl, typically, that are going out there. And afterwards, you're going to need to have other guys step on the ice, and you're going to have 1 or 2 shifts to get back to your regular line groups. And that, I think, is where you're going to see, particularly with Savoy, get a few more minutes in those situations, either on PP2 or, you know, cleaning up after or right at the end of the power play and heading into the next shift. But it's not horrible. I mean, Adam Henrique, we know he's not as fleet of foot as he once was, isn't having as much success as we would like to have or he would like to have at this point. But then you're putting him with 2 guys that can move fairly well. Matt Savoy, quick and probably a little quicker at this stage than Howard, but 2 guys that do have motors that you're hoping that a veteran player can just kind of play a simple game with them and let those guys both be F1. Like you're letting those guys be F1, be F2, and Henrique probably is going to be the guy that's hanging out a little bit higher and trying to play a little bit more defensively sound. So it's not like it's a line that's horrible. I have concern about the total amount of minutes that they're actually going to get here. Although, again, we kind of have to see how they're used still on the penalty kill and coming out of power plays as well.
Yeah. I mean, what was the ice? They were all over 10 minutes, though, last game, right? So, or no, Ike was at 7. Ike was at 7 minutes.
Things were limited in the 3rd period last game, for sure.
I do think it's important, and a couple of other guys around here have said it. I think it is important for Ike to get, dip his toe in the NHL water for a little bit here, see what it's about, and kind of like you come from dominating basically your whole life right? Now you get to a point where, whoa, these.
I'm another one of the guys.
Yeah,
right
I'm not the big fish in the small pond anymore. This is the ocean, and there's some great whites lurking out here. These are the areas I really need to focus on. And you can go down into the American League and have the opportunity with more ice time to work on those areas of your game that will hopefully translate into success in the Oilers lineup.
Savoy 12:43 last game. Howard only had 10 shifts. It was 7.5 minutes.
Yeah.
And in the third period, Tomaszek was limited a bit as well. He only played 10:42.
You're not so much worried about Tomaszek.
No, I mean, he's getting bumped up to that top line tonight anyway. So we'll see what ends up happening on that front tonight. Hey, I'm curious what you guys think about Matthew Schaefer, the first overall pick in the draft, played 26 minutes against the Winnipeg Jets for the New York Islanders. I mean, I know he's a special talent. That's a lot of ice time for an 18-year-old defenseman on not a very good team.
This is what everyone said, that he'll be able to play right away. Maybe not to the point of over 25 minutes a game, but they raved about how he reads the play defensively. He helped us in one of our parlays a couple days ago, which was great. But that's to have that luxury with a guy that can eat those types of minutes on an entry-level deal over the course of time. That's awesome. I'm really looking forward to watching him tonight.
Yeah, I said that's really the only thing I'm excited about from an Islanders. Like, I don't need to see Anders Lee and JG Pajot anymore. Like, just let me see what Schaefer brings to the table. I'm very curious to see how he handles. Like, is 18-year-old Schaefer out there against Connor McDavid? Yeah. Is that what this is going to be? Cass, that's crazy.
I hope so. Like, I don't hope it's crazy. I hope he's out there against him. Like, that'd be fun to watch.
Schaefer is a great skater.
I was just about to say he's a great skater, so I'm excited to see how he moves against the McDavid, and how he responds as well. Like, is he going to be backing up, or is he going to try to play him tight and aggressive? So it'll be really interesting to see, and that could be one of the only really fun storylines coming out of the Island this year. Really is his development and how much he can play. Now, do you guys think there is a risk for the Islanders that you expose him too much, like play him too much, give him too much opportunity here?
That's what if your team's going to suck, even if he's good, I do worry a little bit about burning. I don't know if you can burn out an 18-year-old. I guess maybe you can. I guess it kind of comes probably down to the makeup of this kid. Yeah,
but look at Seth Jones, right? Like, everyone thought he was done in Chicago.
Well, he looked like it.
He looked like it. And maybe that was just being worn down to a nub, right?
But there's a difference playing with the Hawks and then with the Panthers. Right? So that's why I wonder what you're saying with the Islanders.
There's something there with Seth Jones a lot, right? So I think what you worry about is, just not having success, and if not being able to defend and getting that confidence lowered. But by all accounts, he looks like he's doing all right. We'll see. I mean, again, it's a small sample size, but I think there is a little bit of a concern. You don't want the confidence to waver, and then especially in a young guy. But you're going to get a test.
He's playing with Mayfield, who's a pretty veteran dude, right? It's not like he's carrying another 20-year-old on the back end or something.
You definitely want to put him with someone. I mean, in a perfect world, who would you like him to play with? Like a Markov. Old Markov from.
I love that you loved Andrei Markov too.
If that would be the
Mike Commissaric got about $16 million because of Markov.
Yeah, so did Surrey and all those guys.
They all cashed in.
I mean, if I'm the Islanders, that's who I'm looking for. Someone like that stabilizing, awesome force of veteran leadership that he can play with.
Trade for Roman Josi.
Yeah,
like not they're going to. That type of guy, right? Exactly. All right, let's dive into Hire It or Fire It for GS Construction. It is Two Guys and Goalie. We are brought to you by GS Construction. Also, shout out to GS Construction for sponsoring our Hockey Insiders on the Nielsen Show this year. Let's go here. Hire It or Fire It. Losing to Zach in Tecmo today is worse than not ordering enough pizza for the office.
Fire it. You had no opponents in ordering pizza. No one on the other side that you had to try to combat. Like the only thing you had to deal with
was okay. You're right. That's a good point.
The right
my
amount
decision.
of pizza.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. And Zach didn't fluke today. He took it to me with the Niners. Like it wasn't
Really?
like he didn't steal one. Like he beat me. He beat me today, 21-14.
Okay. Yeah, I'll hire it too. Yeah. Zach does suck though.
Zach's sitting right here. Poor Zach.
Oh, thanks, guys. Yeah. Hey, I got the same record as Uke.
Do you?
I do. Yeah, 3-8.
God.
And I beat him the last time, and I beat J-Mill, and that was my
And you
one
beat
other
Goo
one.
Guy, and you beat me now.
Yeah.
Was it the rattling of the pizza that you did?
I
You
was
didn't,
totally off today, man. Like I just, but I think I said he played very well.
Thank you, Dustin.
Yeah, it wasn't a fluke. Like he beat me. Paid that Zach his money. Like, he straight up beat me. That was good. We already kind of had talked a little bit about Trent Frederick, so I won't get to that. How about this one? If not the Oilers, the Habs will be the next Canadian team to win the Stanley Cup.
I'm going to fire it.
Still thinking Leafs?
I would say Winnipeg before.
Still think Winnipeg can get her done, eh?
They have all the pieces. They have the goalie.
It just hasn't come together yet in the playoffs. Like
In the playoffs, yeah, for some reason, but they got around last year, right?
I don't know, but they got around like a few years into this window. Like right there, like I don't know. Kaz, what do you think? Where do you come out on this?
Well, Matthews, we know, is going to leave Toronto, so they're out.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to the Mammoth or something. Who knows?
He's going to the Mammoth, yeah, or to the Vegas Golden Knights.
Carter Hart to the Knights.
Yeah, Carter Hart signed with the Knights today.
Yeah. I think it's just a tryout though. It's not a full.
Well, it's a 2-year deal though.
Thing yet.
Guys don't
Is
get
it 2 year. For some reason, I thought it was just a tryout.
No, I've seen tryouts, but I also saw it was 2 years at $1.8 million per. So I guess if the tryout goes well, it's 2 years at 1.8. That's
I don't know. Regardless, yeah, we haven't talked about that, but I'm trying to think of like who I would put in front of them because it's potentially right now it's potentially Toronto and potentially Winnipeg. Ottawa, I would have said maybe, but who knows right now with the way that they're struggling. Hard to say. They will be the next team. No, I don't know. I can't do it. The little Sens guy inside of me can't do it. So I got to go with Winnipeg too. So I'm going to fire it. No, I can't pick a team from the West. Yeah, I can't do it.
Ever since you guys came together to try to murder Lars Eller on the ice, this is the type of stuff that we have to deal with.
That was beautiful. That wasn't murder. It's like he just shouldn't wear his helmet so loose.
Yeah, his helmet was up a little bit. It's I don't know. I like what the Habs got going there, man.
They're exciting, man.
They got some pieces. They got some good defensemen, right? Dobson and Hudson and Gooley. Like it's kind of coming together as a build at the right time for everything. Right, you got these defensemen who are going to be a little bit older than Demidov, and he looks like he could be a star in the league. And they've got these other pieces like Slavkovsky, who was a first overall pick, but with a guy like Demidov coming and Suzuki, like you don't need him to carry the team, and he can sort of find his way as well. I think as this cap goes up, Montreal will be able to add some significant pieces with already a young core that's sort of locked in at reasonable numbers. And I don't know. I think they're trending in the right direction.
Caulfield's on fire right now too.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's just a natural goal scorer, right? Like, so we'll see how that sorts itself out. All right, what's coming up on EST afternoons? We got a couple minutes here left. Cass, any thoughts on Carter Hart getting that? What do you think of Vegas? They obviously needed a goalie. Button was saying that a couple days ago, yesterday morning, Button was on, and he's like, Vegas has a major goaltending issue. They got to do something about it. I don't know if bringing in a guy who hasn't played in a long time is actually going to help. But what do you think of Hart getting another crack at it in Vegas?
Well, it could be the cheapest potential option here, right, for them.
Yeah.
Like it may work, but it's not like it's going to be overly expensive if it doesn't.
No assets.
So it's not like it really costs you anything from a standpoint aside from a little bit of cap. Listen, jury will be out. We'll have to see how he can actually play from a play standpoint, and they're going to have a little bit of a media storm to deal with. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but from a legal standpoint, he was found not guilty. Now, not guilty or not criminally guilty is different than not it takes a certain level of proof and burden of proof to convict someone of something for which you're criminally liable. But that doesn't mean you still weren't a prick or a dick or whatever you want to call it, like a jerk in the situation. And so you're going to have, from an organizational standpoint, you're going to have to deal with that. And rightfully so. You have to answer hard questions with it. I don't know where I fall on that. I hadn't put too much thought into it. But from a purely hockey standpoint, it's fairly low risk for the Vegas Golden Knights. Now, from a marketing, social media, a court of public opinion standpoint, you could be in a little bit of a wild ride here.
Yeah, we'll see how they handle that. All right, EST Afternoons, what's coming up?
Zach's got our list over there. So.
Big day for Zach.
It is a big day
Zach,
for me,
do you want
Dusty.
some of these wings? We got some leftovers.
No, I might. I'm glad that there's some left over for sure. Yeah.
Hey, Zach.
Yeah.
Did you feel you got enough pizza yesterday?
Oh yeah, you got tons.
I got plenty. I can't lie. I probably have more than everybody else at the table.
All right.
And I was the last person to go get pizza.
Cass, he needed 2 hands to carry his plate.
Yeah. Okay.
I did. It was a heavy plate. But there's a full plate on today's show for EST Afternoons. Yeah. Oilers at Islanders. Stefan Rosner from NHL.com will check in and talk about the Isles' 0-3 start. Rookie Matthew Schaefer and Ilya Sorokin's rough start in between the pipes. Red Light District with Joaquin Gage bringing the topic, as well as John Hodge from 3 Down Nation joining us to talk all things CFL with 4 games on the docket. So it's a busy show today.
All right, that's coming up 1 o'clock here on TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, over on YouTube. You can listen live on the audio player at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. That will lead into the Reed Wilkins Show at 3 o'clock. Reed and Jay will take it up to 4:30. GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show 4:30 to 5:30. Then Reed and Jay will come back and wrap things up. I think they're going to have Glenn Suter on at 5:30 today. Talk some CFL there as well. And then the GCL Diesel post-game show coming up after the Oilers and the Islanders. That is going to do it for Two Guys and a Goalie. I am so glad this day is over. I am out of here, and I'm not coming back until Monday. For Matt Kassian, Joaquin Gage, I'm Dustin Nielson. Take it easy.